Hey YouTube, so Billboard has been unveiling their best pop stars of the 21st century's list over the past few weeks, and the Swifties are currently screaming, crying, throwing up, having meltdowns because Taylor Swift was placed at number 2, which will obviously leave Queen Beyoncé in the number 1 spot as she should be. Now, when I say the Swifties are having meltdowns, I'm obviously not talking about all Swifties. We all know that not all Swifties are alike. I would divide Taylor's fan base into three different subsections. You have the Swifties who are logical, who are reasonable, who live in reality, who are not deluded. And then you have the MAGA Swifties, because we can't deny the fact that Taylor Swift has a lot of white people in her fan base. And when you have a lot of white people, you have a lot of racism. A lot of Taylor Swift's fans are maggots. And we all know that maggots do not live in reality. They live in their own bubble where they are spreading misinformation amongst each other. They don't go outside of their bubble to research with viable, credible sources. They believe what they want to believe. They spread lies amongst each other, and they believe the lies that they spread to each other. So these people are not logical. You cannot reason with them. These people don't know the truth, and they don't want to know the truth. And then the third category of Swifties are the babies. You have the younger Swifties who were not here during the beginning of the 21st century, or they were either too young to understand what was going on at the beginning of the 21st century. So these baby Swifties are similar to the MAGA Swifties. Again, they are in their own bubble. They're not aware of what's going on outside of their bubble. That's the reason why when someone other than Taylor Swift wins an award or gets a certain accolade or achieves something, they're fucking blindsided and shocked because they don't know anything outside of their bubble. They don't take the time to educate themselves, to research, to look at history, to look at, what's been happening over this 23-year span, because the 21st century goes far back to 2001. The 21st century started in 2001. So this Billboard's ranking is based off of material from 2001 to present, okay? I'm not sure if the Swifties are not aware of that or if they just didn't know. Like I said, the logical Swifties understand the assignment. I've seen several Swifties, with common sense, say that it makes sense for Beyonce to be at the top. That's just common sense. Nobody is shocked about Beyonce being at the top except for the MAGA Swifties and the baby Swifties. So instead of educating themselves and doing their research to see why something like this would happen, what the Swifties are doing is they are resorting to racism, misogyny, and conspiracy theories as their coping mechanism. Yes, they have to use racism, misogyny, and conspiracy theories to cope with the fact that Beyonce is considered to be the best pop star of this century according to Billboard. There's all sorts of hoopla going on, especially with this past election. People coming up with all sorts of conspiracy theories to try to justify why Beyonce is revered the way that she is. People note the fact that Beyonce is respected by her peers, by the legends that came before her, and by the upcoming legends that are reaching their peak in the industry. They notice that a lot of artists show a lot of respect and gratitude towards Beyonce. They are referencing Beyonce in their acceptance speeches. They're thanking Beyonce for inspiring them, for paving the way for them, for breaking down barriers for them. The baby Swifties and the MAGA Swifties, instead of being logical and researching why so many artists respect and love Beyonce, they would rather resort to racism, misogyny, and conspiracy theories because they just don't want to accept the fact that this Black woman is exceptional and she's the standard, and she has paved the way for a lot of young women in the industry, including Taylor Swift. Their brains can't comprehend that. They can't accept that because of their racism, because of their misogynoir, because of their hatred of beautiful Black women. So they would rather resort to degeneracy instead of just being logical and just, acknowledging the fact that Beyonce is the rightful number 1 pop star of this century. I don't want to disrespect Taylor Swift because I do think that Taylor Swift is a nice person from what I've seen. I know that, with this whole election thing and her endorsing Kamala Harris, that brought a lot of heat on her. Not nearly as much heat as some others because Taylor does have white privilege. She's a white, blonde haired, blue eyed, skinny woman, and she does benefit from white privilege. So people aren't as harsh on her. Don't get me wrong. People have been harsh on her. People have said egregious things about her, and I have seen it. But it's nowhere near as bad as some others, especially black women. But I do think Taylor is a nice person from what I've seen. I think she's a decent person. As far as Taylor as an artist, she's not my cup of tea. And before we get into that, I want to bring this up because this is what Taylor Swift wrote on her own Instagram page. She said, "I'm so glad I'll never know what my life would have been like without Beyonce's influence." This is coming out of Taylor's mouth. "The way she's taught me and every artist out here to break rules and defy industry norms, her generosity of spirit, her resilience and versatility. She's been a guiding light throughout my career. And the fact that she showed up tonight was like an actual fairy tale." Y'all, this is Taylor Swift talking about Beyonce. Taylor Swift sounds like a beehive. The same shit that we've been saying. Taylor Swift said this shit last year and years and years and years before. Taylor Swift and Beyonce have crossed paths several times. We'll never forget what happened at the VMAs. Um, and ever since then, they have been supporting each other behind the scenes. And of course, the industry is pitting these two women against each other because it's lucrative for their platforms. They get a lot of attention and engagement on their platform because they know that the fans are going to come and, with their discourse and their think pieces and their arguments. But Taylor Swift, in her own words, is saying the same shit that we're saying. Beyonce is the artist not only of this century, but of our generation. This is a 90s artist who was winning Grammys and on the Billboard back when the 21st century started. Where was Taylor Swift in 2001? She wasn't on the Billboard. She wasn't touring. She wasn't winning Grammys. She wasn't getting number one songs on the Billboard charts. Beyonce was, and Beyonce is still doing so in 2024. In 2024, as a 90s artist, she has the most Grammy nominations for the 2025 Grammys. 11 Grammys, which breaks the record for the most Grammy nominations for one album. She's doing this 30 years into her career at 43 years old with a 30-year career span. Many of Beyonce's peers have placed lower on this list. I don't think this list is 100% accurate, to be honest with you. Beyonce, of course, deserves to be at the top, but I think some of these other people deserve to be up a little bit higher. I don't know why Jay-Z's here. I don't consider him to be a pop star. That goes for Lil Wayne as well. But I digress. But anyway, the Swifties just refuse to accept reality. They refuse to come out of their bubble. They refuse to, they refuse to educate themselves on reality. These people have gaslighted themselves and deluded themselves into thinking that Beyonce is just some regular old rinky-dink artist. Let's be real. When the Swifties brag about Taylor Swift, I never hear them bragging about her vocals or her singing ability. I never hear about them bragging about her visuals. I never hear them bragging about her dancing or her stage performance. I never hear them bragging about Taylor as an artist. The only thing they talk about is numbers. Every single time they talk about Taylor Swift, they talk about numbers. In the future, when we are sharing these artists with the younger generation, we're not going to pull out a fucking spreadsheet with numbers on it. We're going to show them videos. We're going to show them audio. We're going to show them images. We're going to show them visuals of the art that we're trying to educate them on. So, Swifties, like, what's the deal? Don't get me wrong. Like, now Twitter, it's expected to see a lot of racism on Twitter because ever since Elon Musk took over, it seems like Twitter is nothing but a cesspool of racism and violence and porn. It's just horrible. Twitter is a horrible place. The only reason why I still have Twitter is because I still need to keep up with certain topics. But I do plan on canceling Twitter soon, because at this point Twitter is just, it's just overcome with MAGA this, Trump that, racism this, misogyny. It's, Twitter is a horrible place. It's a horrible place. But on TikTok, they are eating Taylor Swift up. Like, they're pulling up videos of Taylor Swift performing at 26, and they're pulling up videos of Beyonce performing at 10 years old, and Beyonce is washing Taylor even at 10 years old. Taylor don't sing better than Beyonce. She don't dance better than Beyonce. She doesn't have better visuals than Beyonce. She doesn't have better stage presence than Beyonce. Taylor Swift is not better than Beyonce in any way, shape, or form. Now, you can speak on sales, and album sales, but at the end of the day, Beyonce being a 90s artist, having the third highest album sales and pure album sales this year, that's fucking amazing. And most artists won't be able to do that within the 30th year of their career. Most artists won't be able to do that. The simple fact that y'all are constantly comparing Taylor to Beyonce just further speaks, and just further speaks on Beyonce's relevancy and her impact. Like, for this 90s artist to constantly being compared to the newer artists coming up, it just further solidifies that Beyonce is the standard. Beyonce is the standard. And she sings better than Taylor. She dances better than Taylor. She's a better artist than Taylor. She's a better entertainer than Taylor. And like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect Taylor, but I have never watched Taylor Swift perform and gotten goosebumps. Never have I felt inspired by Taylor Swift. A lot of white people relate to her because she's, no disrespect, but she's average, and a lot of people relate to that. And plus, like I said, Taylor Swift has the aesthetic of the Eurocentric beauty standards. She's white, she's thin, she's blonde haired, blue eyed. I don't want to disrespect Taylor again. I do like her as a person. I'm just saying that her art does not speak to me. Yes, she writes her own lyrics, but writing your own lyrics doesn't make you the best pop star of the century. There are plenty of writers that can't act, plenty of writers that can't sing, plenty of writers that cannot bring their words to life. That's why you have to have an artist, a singer, a dancer, a performer bring that to life. That's what we have actors for. That's what we have singers and dancers for. They bring the script to life. They bring the words to life. Without the performer, without the portrayer of the words, those words are just words. They're just words. And Taylor don't, I've seen videos of her on the Eras tour, and girl, I'm not impressed. Taylor Swift gives Nickelodeon, she gives JoJo Siwa, she gives Kids Bop 4. Like, Taylor Swift, I'm I just can't. I just cannot imagine paying money to see her live. I just can't. I have not seen any growth with her, any type of versatility with her. Beyonce is nominated in so many different Grammys categories: Americana, rap, country, um Americana, rap, country, R&B, hip. I mean, everything. Like, Beyonce is versatile. And I saw a Swiftie call Beyonce a grifter. What the fuck do you mean, bitch? Beyonce's career spans 3 decades. You really want her to be the same person she was 20 years ago? Over these 30 years, Beyonce has she left a group. She was a young lady in a solo career. She got married. She had kids. She's an older woman now, mature. She's been through a lot. You really expect her as an artist to be making the same shit that she was making 20 years ago? After everything she's been through? That's the beauty of Beyonce. She's a true artist. Her art grows with her. She's not making the same shit that she was making 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? After becoming a mother, certain things became more important to her. After Beyonce became a mother, that's when she started focusing more towards on Black empowerment, Black beauty, Black excellence. That's when she started doing more Black focused content after she became a mother. Because that's where she is in her life right now. And now she's in a point in her career where she's trying to educate and give life back and give voices back to those whose voices were taken from them. And no, Beyonce does not have 50 people in a room writing a song. When Beyonce uses a sample or a phrase in her music, she gives credit to everybody who could possibly be connected to that sample. So she gives writing credits to people who aren't even aware that the song exists. Like the whole Khalees situation. Khalees didn't even know that Beyonce was gonna credit her on that song because Beyonce, the owner of the song was Pharrell, and Beyonce got permission from Pharrell to sample a song, right? That he owned. And Khalees was also credited on that song. So Beyonce credited Khalees even though Khalees had nothing to do with that song. But she literally gives credit to every single body. She gives writing credits to people who don't even write themselves. So no, she don't have 50 people in a room writing a song. Be fucking for real. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? And if Taylor would collaborate with other artists, she could grow as an artist. She been making the same shit for, I don't even know how long Taylor been in the industry, like 10 years. She's still giving Nickelodeon. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect Taylor because obviously, people are buying her music. She's doing what she needs to be doing for her audience. She's doing a great job at that. But come on, bro. Taylor I think it's disrespectful. I'm watching these videos of them two performing. It's disrespectful to compare Beyonce to Taylor. After everything Beyonce has had to go through, how hard she's had to work. Beyonce been working since she was 8 years old. You want to compare her to Taylor Swift, who's on stage looking like she's scared to move, stiff, no stage presence, nothing. Beyonce is on stage. She's a whole athlete, commanding the audience, commanding her band, commanding her dancers. Beyonce don't hide behind her dancers. She outdances her dancers, and she has the best dancers on stage with her. And you gonna disrespect her and try to disregard everything she's done over the past 3 decades? Because you're ignorant? Because you're a racist? Girl, fuck you. Fuck y'all. You dumbass MAGA Swifties, you trailer trash, dirty white trash bitches. The thing about y'all is that y'all won't even do that shit in real life. Y'all won't keep that same energy in real life. It's easy to be racist and misogynistic on the internet, but I'll never catch one of you motherfuckers in real life. Cause y'all don't act like that in real life. Be fucking for real. Y'all should be happy Taylor was placed at number 2. Cause I'm looking at this list right now. How the fuck did Taylor Swift rank above Britney Spears? What? It's disrespectful. And no, Britney Spears can't really sing either. But as an entertainer, as an artist, as a performer, Britney Spears will walk Taylor Swift on a leash. No, Rihanna can't really sing like that either. But as far as like culture and artistry, Rihanna is way better than Taylor Swift. Lady Gaga is one of the best live performers I've ever seen. And you gonna put Taylor Swift above? Man, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Shakira. Now I get it. Some of these people were hyped for a certain amount of time within the 21st century and then they stopped. Like Britney, she ain't really did nothing recently. Rihanna, I still feel like Rihanna should have got above Taylor Swift. I don't get how the fuck that happened. Y'all are funny. Y'all funny for that. I'm looking at this list. Adele is kind of a newer artist, but Adele will sing circles around Taylor Swift. Be fucking for real, bro. Be fucking for real. That's one thing that the Swifties never talk about. They never talk about Taylor's talent. They never talk about her singing ability. These people sing way better than Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift barely be even singing, bro. She barely even sings. She should... I'll put it this way. Keep Taylor's voice the same. Keep her dancing capability the same. You can even keep her songwriting capabilities the same. Keep everything about Taylor the same except for her skin color. Make Taylor Swift black. Keep everything about her the same, but make her black. Would she really be at the top of this list like this if she was a black woman doing the exact same shit she was doing right now? Hell no. Hell no. I wish I could post those performances that I saw, but it's going to get copyrighted. Taylor Swift, bro, she gives Nickelodeon high school talent show type shit. And no disrespect, but it's kids at talent shows that would do better than Taylor Swift. Y'all are delusional. The 21st century spans a 23-year period. Taylor Swift, I would say, really was at her peak within the last 4 years. So those 18 years, you're telling me that what Taylor Swift did within 4 years was enough to rank her at number two? I mean, maybe it was. I don't know. Billboard did this list based off of a lot of different factors. I do think that Britney Spears should be above Taylor. I think that Lady Gaga should be above Taylor. I think Rihanna should definitely be above Taylor. Taylor should be number Britney should be number two. Rihanna should be number three. Taylor could be number Taylor could be number four. She could be number four. She's a great songwriter, apparently. She sells a lot of records. She's been able to do so to sell a lot of records. But as far as like any iconic moments, like I can't think of one iconic moment in Taylor Swift's career other than that Kanye West moment at the VMAs. And ironically enough, that moment involved Beyonce allowing Taylor to come back on stage during her speech so that Taylor can have that moment that was taken from her. I think that's the most iconic point in Taylor Swift's career was when Taylor Swift I'm sorry. The most iconic moment in Taylor Swift's career, in my opinion, is when Kanye took that mic from her. And I'm being dead serious. Like with Beyonce, I can mention both of the inauguration performances that she did. I can mention Coachella, of course. I can mention the 2009 VMAs. I can mention the Beyonce Experience. I can mention I Am World Tour. I can mention Lemonade. Like there are so many iconic moments and performances. I can mention the 2006 BET Awards performance. I can mention so many iconic moments in Beyonce's career that have left. I mean, we can. How could I forget the fucking digital drop? Because of that digital drop, now people are releasing music on Fridays. Now people want to drop surprise albums and shit without promoting. That shit wasn't the norm before Beyonce did that shit. Beyonce did that shit. Now everybody trying to do that shit. Drake followed suit. Kendrick just did it. People releasing on Fridays instead of Tuesdays. Beyonce, the first black woman to perform at to headline Coachella. Matter of fact, she would have been the first woman ever, but it was the fact that she was pregnant with twins and she had to cancel. Beyonce always the first woman to do some shit. The first black woman to chart #1 on the country albums chart. And that happened this year. So many iconic moments in Beyonce's career. And I'm not trying to say that Taylor Swift never broke a record or anything like that. But these are what I'm saying about Beyonce is that these are moments that are impacting the culture over time. Like Beyonce was the first woman to headline a solo stadium tour. Beyonce was the first woman to do that. And other women were able to follow suit afterwards. And Taylor said this shit in her own fucking caption. Beyonce's influence, Beyonce's willingness to take risks and break rules and defy industry norms, that paved the way for a lot of the women after her. And y'all trying to act like Beyonce don't deserve to be #1? Fuck y'all. Y'all are full of shit. Y'all trolling. And again, this is just your way of coping. This is your way of coping. The fact that y'all keep trying to cancel her. Y'all, I saw somebody in a comment section talking about we got to put more pressure on them. We got to make the hashtag cancel Beyonce trend. Are you bitches stupid? Do y'all not remember that y'all tried that shit at the 2016 Super Bowl where y'all say y'all gonna boycott Beyonce just for Beyonce to turn around and turn that into a shirt? Be fucking for real. You cannot cancel Beyonce. You cannot cancel greatness. Beyonce is one of the most beloved people on this planet. Everything that she has, she worked hard for it. She comes from the era where you had to physically buy albums, where you had to audition, where you had to, sing on the spot in interviews, where you had to get that shit out the mud. That's where Beyonce comes from. That's why, she's exceptional. That's why she's still relevant 30 years later. That's why she's still winning, getting Grammy nominations, the most Grammy nominations out of everybody 30 years later. You better hope your fave is this relevant 30 years into her career. So stop being stupid. Stop being dumb. I mean, I really don't care. You can be stupid. You can be dumb. You can be mad. But one thing you can't do is take away Beyonce's legacy. You can't take it away. You can't take away nothing. The only people talking shit about Beyonce are the people that didn't like her before. But y'all not changing shit. Y'all not changing nothing. So continue to cope, continue to be mad, but at the end of the day, Beyonce is still going to be Beyonce. She's still going to be number one. She's still going to be the best artist of this generation, of this century, of all time, of all time, you know? Well, probably like right after Michael Jackson. But right after Michael Jackson is Beyonce. I don't care what nobody say.